What are the top AI features and tools of 2024? Well, let's find out. What's going on? My name's Jordan Wilson. I'm going to show you quickly. Give me, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. So like I said, my name is Jordan. I run Everyday AI. We're a daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI to grow their companies and their careers. Each year, I probably try thousands of AI features and tools. All right, so this list that I'm going to be talking about today, I actually did a super deep breakdown of it yesterday. Actually, it's more than an hour long, so I'm not going to tell you necessarily what all of these 24 features and tools are. I'm going to go really quick and rank them. All right, and these, let me say this again, these are not the best AI features or tools of 2024. These are the ones that got the most attention. These are the top AI features and tools, the most talked about ones. And I'm going to be ranking them on this tiers list. I actually made this in Claude Artifacts. So S is for super. Then you have A, B, C, D. So just because something is a D doesn't mean it is a bad feature or a tool. It just means, at least according to our list, that's kind of where it ranks comparatively. So as an example, if your favorite AI, large language model or tool, whatever, didn't get a huge update in 2024, we just didn't consider it. So, there are obviously some amazing tools out there from 2022, 2023, and before that. If they didn't have a major update that was noteworthy, then they weren't even on the list to begin with. All right, I hope that makes sense. We're going to go through this and do our tiered list super quick. This was actually built, as you can probably see, in Claude Artifacts, which made our list. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get to it. We're going to go from bottom to top. So the first one on our D list, Apple Intelligence. It was a big nothing, a big snooze fest. I don't know why we waited for it so long. All stuff you could do like 5 years ago. Next, Canva Magic Studio. Actually great. It's a lot of these features I use every single day, but it was a top feature, top tool, just not top on our list. Next, ChatGPT search. There's actually a lot of problems with it. Personally, I liked the old school kind of quote unquote browse with Bing. There's some great Google Map-esque features in ChatGPT search. Not one of my favorite releases. And like I said, there's actually a lot of bugs that people aren't talking about. Next, Claude computer use. Was it the first taste of agentic AI for mainstream people? Kind of. Was it extremely clunky and hard to use? Yes, but hats off to Anthropic for getting it out early. Next, we have Stream Real Time from Google. Inside Google's AI Studio, you can essentially have Google see you, share your screen, etc. It's actually great, but there seemed to be a disconnect between the kind of computer vision element and accessing the model. I did a full review on that if you want to go check it out. Next on our D tier is Zapier Agents, formerly called Zapier Central. Again, fantastic tool / feature from Zapier. It allows you to chat in a ChatGPT-esque interface and connect to all your different softwares and everything out there. So it is great. Just hard to crack the list, right? Any higher than that. Now let's go to our C tier. We have Cursor AI. Another thing to point out, these are tools for everyday people, right? So, obviously, if you're a software engineer, coder, web developer, etc., Cursor AI might be an S on your list. But for the average everyday person, I did create, put some kind of, quote unquote coding tools on here, because now everyday people you can use a tool like Cursor and code. There's a lot of other great ones that didn't make the list. Windsurfer, Lovable, GitHub Copilot, right? So many of them. Cursor AI had a great year, came out at the right time, I think. Next, 11 Labs conversational agents. Really, I think probably the best general purpose text to speech platform. And then they introduced conversational agents in 2024. Next, Microsoft Copilot Vision. I would have put this higher on my list. However, right now there's some downsides to it. So you have to be on a Copilot what is it? Copilot Pro, the $20 a month Copilot Pro plan, and you have to use this in Edge, and it only works on a certain number of websites. So the difference with this, and as an example, Google's Stream Real Time is Stream Real Time and technically advanced voice mode. When you're working with this kind of like quote unquote video AI or screen sharing AI, the rest of them kind of take a screenshot of what they see, whereas Copilot Vision is completely different. It understands the entire website, even what's not on your screen. The downside is it only works on like a couple dozen websites, but I think, great things for the future there. Let's go to our B tier. Hey Jen, V3 avatars, great. In terms of being able to use natural language and being able to see and hear different emotion in your avatars, great. That just dropped in November, so pretty new. Next, we're going to Llama 3.2 from Meta. Obviously, a leader in the open ask. I know it's not truly open source, but it's pushing all the other developers to bring their price down. It's heating up the competition with the Chinese large language model makers. So Llama 3.2, extremely impressive. I'm waiting for the big version, right? Whether it's 405B or whatever it's called. Right now, they just released their small and medium versions. Next on our B tier, this would technically be sorry, I should, for accuracy, I guess this is 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, whatever you want to say. So I'll say 6.x. Midjourney, I think, is still the leader in AI image generation. I think Google's Imagen 3 is right behind there. Right now, Midjourney is just a little bit more flexible. Speaking of a very similar tool, Runway V3. Friggin' amazing, right? I do look at Runway as more of almost a creative suite, where a lot of these other tools that are still on the list here are more of just AI video generators, if that makes sense. Speaking of, the next one on our list is Sora. So we had to wait 9 months from the time that OpenAI previewed Sora until it was released. When it was released, it was by far the best AI video editor, and that lasted for a full 3 days until Google's announcement, which we'll get to here in a second. Next on our B list, Suno V4. There's so many versions. Sometimes I get confused myself. Suno V4, I think, is the best AI audio program there is. It's nuts. Had their CEO Mikey on the show last year. If you haven't checked out Suno V4, it is mind-bogglingly good. Side note, I do see China coming into the fold in this space. One of the spaces they haven't started to compete in yet, but 2025, I would expect that. All right, our A tier. These, I think from A to S, these are tried and true. You really can't go wrong as long as you know what you're doing. First on the list is Canvas from ChatGPT. This is, everyone's going to copy this. There's no way that we're talking about, conversational text-based AI still a year from now without having a Canvas type kind of canvas to work on, right? That means being able to iteratively prompt, go up and work with the AI, where normally everything else right now, it's I send a block of text to an AI, it sends a block of text back. It's not intuitive. It's not really how we work, from a text-based standpoint. So Canvas, small seems like, but it's actually huge. Next, which is not the same, very different, Claude Artifacts, what I'm literally using right now. So the big difference is people thought ChatGPT Canvas and Claude Artifacts are the same thing. Absolutely not. I think of ChatGPT Canvas more of like a Google Doc for AI and working with AI, right? More text-based, being able to really collaborate with an AI on text without having to go back and forth and waste time. Where Claude Artifacts, it's just rendering all kinds of different programming languages, right? Like I built this in 10 seconds. Yeah, you can still render Python in Canvas mode in ChatGPT, but that's really it, right? Claude Artifacts is from Anthropic, is amazing. All right, next. Gemini 2.0. So Google did just release their Gemini 2.0 family of models. Right now, they are experimental, but they are topping the charts. So aside from Meta Llama, I think this is the only technical large language model, traditional transformer type model that made the list. All right, so next, Google Deep Research. I friggin' love this. So it does use Gemini 1.5, which is a downside, I guess. However, I mean, it's Google Deep Research. Think of it like Perplexity times 10. So yeah, it takes 2 or 3 minutes. However, it will go and, quote unquote, research or scrape or learn or analyze potentially hundreds of web pages at once. This is, I think, agentic AI researcher that is live for anyone on the paid Gemini plan to use right now. Speaking of Google, Google really dominated this A tier right here. This one for me, this one was between A and S. So VO2 from Google. The reason I didn't put it on S as well, Sora did this 9-month thing, or OpenAI did it where, hey, they teased something and didn't really release it, right? But they didn't start coming out with more versions. So Google teased VO1 like 5 or 6 months ago and just never released it. And then they, kind of teased and did a very, very limited release. Same thing of VO2. So this is their AI video generator, and it is better than everything else, and it's not even close. It's better than Sora. It's better than Kling. It's better than Runway. It's better than Luma. It's better than anything. It is actually, I think, the first AI video generator that even for people who are looking at it are not going to be able to tell the difference, right? Sora, Runway, everything else will fool the everyday person. You won't be able to tell if it's AI generated or not. VO can actually fool you even if you are looking for it. It is that good. It understands physics unlike any AI video model. All right, here is our top tools of the year. So we have advanced voice mode from ChatGPT. Finally, right when this first came out in September, wasn't thrilled about it, wasn't great, but now there are video capabilities, so it can quote unquote see, and it finally has internet capabilities. So this is, I think the first kind of quote unquote general AI agent that you can talk to, right? It can see the world around you and it has an understanding of current day, right? That's a downside when you're working with large language models, is their knowledge cutoff might be a year or more old. And that's pretty much useless for 99% of anything that you might want to be using a large language model for in your business. You can't be working with information that's a year old, let alone that, all that training data, right? It could have been from an offline training set from 5 years ago. So it is pivotal, any AI agent or large language model you're using, to have access to the internet in advanced voice mode. Pretty fantastic. All right, this one. It's a long-winded one, but Microsoft Copilot Studio, their autonomous agents, no code, being able to, it's nuts, right? Being able to type and have Copilot Studio literally build you a autonomous agent that has access to all of your dynamic data. If your organization is a Microsoft 365 Copilot organization and you have access to all of that, this is dumb how good this is. Like I can't even verbalize it, and all I do is talk all day about AI. All right, next we have I said there's only 2 transformer models, but we have a reasoner here with OpenAI's O1 Pro. I've been using O1 Pro. Yeah, it's pricey. It's $200 a month, but it is so much better than anything else, right? Go use the actual O1 Pro. It's better than O1 if you have the normal $20 a month ChatGPT Plus. You have access to O1 Pro, another level. It is having, essentially a 1%, like a 1%er in everything. So the top 1% in literally everything. Yes, these models can take a little bit more time to think, but the results you get are friggin' fantastic. All right, and then last but not least, which was also deemed our product of the year, and we polled our audience, this was their product of the year as well, Notebook LM. So, I mean, having a grounded, state-of-the-art large language model, there's the free plan is very generous. The paid plan, even better, working with, I think, 50 million words of your company's data, mind-bogglingly good, right? And the new feature, right? So the AI audio overviews were 2, kind of quote unquote podcast hosts, talk to you about your content, but the ability to have the join live, that is, I think, that one feature of this new platform by far my favorite, one of my most used. I have conversations with my notebooks all the time. All right, I hope this was helpful. I know it was more than 10 minutes. If this was helpful, this is what we do at Everyday AI. So yeah, we did have a very much long-winded episode. I know I didn't show you any of the tools, so you can leave me a comment if you're upset about that, right? But did a full hour plus episode on this. This is all I do, right? I spend thousands with an S thousands of hours each year using all these tools, teaching other people all the features, all the benefits, all that stuff on our daily podcast. So if you do love AI, go to youreverydayai.com, sign up for the free daily newsletter, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this AI in 15 for the top AI features and tools of 2024.